And we've got the 3-5 Titletown USA and the 4-4 nappy-headed foe. And looking at this matchup, I don't know, Mike. I mean, that was a tough loss last week. How did you feel as you were up at such a good score, and then, what happened? How did you feel?
I had already counted it in the win column.
Mm-hmm.
Trash GM had been texting me all day talking about how it was over, but it wasn't trash talking. It was more of him being upset that his team stunk that week, and he got me feeling good. I kept saying it's not over, and the second that I thought it was over, Chris Johnson runs a 90-yard touchdown.
Yep.
He goes ahead, and I had to stay.
Well, man. Well, it's a tough one to take. I was okay with the loss, obviously, and as you're okay with every one of my losses. Right. But let's move on. Jay Cutler in Arizona and Tony Romo in prime time against Philadelphia. Steven, I know you have some thoughts on Romo in prime time. Let's hear it.
He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible.
How do you think the Phillies or the Eagles fans are going to handle this after a Phillies loss and Dallas coming in? I mean, it's going to be volatile, don't you think?
It's going to be nasty. And we know how Romo does against pressure. Oh, I need to do the snap. Oh, I flubbed it.
Mm-hmm.
He can't even do a basic snap of holding down an extra point under a small amount of pressure. It's going to be ugly.
Feel free to defend your quarterback.
Could be negative points this week.
Looking at Tony Romo's schedule for the rest of the year, I knew this week was going to be the week he probably struggled more than any other week, but I don't have a backup option as of right now.
Yep.
So I can see Romo struggling, yes, but I'm hoping for 15 points.
That's why you blow. You're hoping. Hope
We'll stop.
Doesn't.
That's enough. We're going to move on to the running backs. Marion Barber and Julius Jones on nappy-headed foe side, and Ronnie Brown and Maurice Jones-Drew on Titletown's. Ronnie Brown's going back and playing New England. This is where it all started. Came full circle.
Here it is.
What do you think is going to happen with Ronnie Brown? Are you nervous this week?
I'm not as nervous about Ronnie Brown as I am about Jones-Drew.
Okay.
Jones-Drew, he could easily go off for 35 points against KC. Ronnie Brown should have a decent game, but I'm more worried about Jones.
All right. And do you have any thoughts on Marion Barber, Julius Jones?
No. I don't think either one of them are worth 2 dead cents.
All right. Well, I'm going to just stop asking him questions about your team.
I would like to talk about the Ronnie Brown 4 running touchdowns?
4 running, 1 passing.
And 1 passing. Mm-hmm. Look for that to happen again this week, as this whole Wildcat baloney all started against these New England Patriots. Look for something reminiscent of the first game.
Do you honestly think that Bill Belichick will let that happen? Do you think he's not looked at every possible scenario?
I believe that he has, and the Wildcat is unstoppable.
You heard it here, folks. He said the Wildcat's unstoppable. We're going to quickly move on before he changes his mind.
It's still homo, and it doesn't belong in the NFL, but you can't stop it.
Who does Bill Parcells work for, Mike?
The Dolphins, Wildcat.
Who does he emulate and love?
Bill Parcells.
That's what I thought. Let's move
on.
That's enough.
Happy with the Wildcat.
He must be happy enough because they're signing his paychecks. The Wildcat is. Happy. Their little paws signing paychecks. Fitzgerald, Hicks, and Creighton. Really, the only wide receiver I like on Titletown's side is Fitzgerald. Any objections?
No, that sounds good.
How great is he going to be without his sidekick? With the Chicago D, has good corners. I mean, they don't have a great defense this year, but they got good corners, right?
Preston's right up there with Bolden, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think Fitzgerald will be all right.
All right. We go to the other side, Nappies. Reggie Wayne, Santana Moss, and Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings has a real good matchup. And truthfully, Reggie Wayne is, I think, if my numbers had to check on those, but I think he's the number 1 targeted wide receiver in the league right now.
Most receptions.
Okay, maybe that's what I was looking for. But he's also got Santana Moss against Atlanta. Atlanta actually gives up a decent amount of points, just not a ton of touchdowns. I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to nappy-headed foe here. Objections?
None. I love Wayne. I love the Greg Jennings play here. And Moss, he's one of those guys, he could go for 1 or he could easily hit his projection of 17. Tough to say.
All right, and we go to the tight ends. Kellen Winslow against Green Bay and Jeremy Shockey against Carolina. Carolina gives up about 5.5 points to opposing tight ends. And as far as Green Bay goes, they give up about 7 points. 7 points, 5 touchdowns to opposing tight ends. numbers would say Kellen Winslow should have the better day, but I'll be honest with you, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Well, Tampa's got the rookie throwing the ball this week. I'd take Shockey in this one. Breeze is going to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
I'm with him. You go with the best offense. Shockey will find his targets.
Okay. Broncos at Pittsburgh and Patriots at Miami. Who would you guys take?
I don't like either one of them.
Okay. I actually don't mind the Broncos at Pittsburgh because they'll be able to, I think, get to Ben and he'll be able to get sacked. I don't know about the interceptions, but I think the sack number is what's going to actually hurt.
Elvis Doomerville.
Titletown here.
I'll take Broncos in that
matchup. I will.
Why not?
All right, matchup. What do you think? Mike, we'll let you go first. See if you can do this as objectively.
Objectively, the last 3 or 4 weeks, I went into the week thinking that I don't have that great of a chance. This week, I think it's going to be a very good game, and I'm just hoping to pull it out by a couple points.
So are you saying you'll win?
Again.
Oh.
I'm going to win.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I normally don't depend on Titletown for anything but good laughter in watching him run his franchise. But this week, I think that he takes it with the miracle play out of the ridiculously stupid offense known as the Wildcat and MJD. They will lead the Titletown to a victory.
Okay. I also will take Titletown. Nothing against you.
Smug.
It is smug.
That is nothing smug about that. It is
right
very
next to
simply.
you.
Please. You have been bashing him the entire episode on this one. But I too will take Titletown, but I do think it'll be very, very close here.
Let's hope so.
And I think it'll be because of Tony Romo. Anyway, that's it for the Doug and Kamish show. Mike, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate this. Thanks for coming out, and maybe we'll have you on the show again, depending on what our ratings are after the show. Have a good week. May all your fantasy players be studs.